Researchers have revealed new evidence suggesting that, under certain circumstances, food cravings can be similar to those experienced by a drug addict. If you're human, then chances are you've experienced cravings. See if you can relate to this. It's been a long day at work and the time has come to begin the drive home. You've been trying to eat healthier lately and have planned out a delicious chicken breast and sautéed bell pepper meal to make when you get home. The ingredients are already in the fridge and it is simple to make. All of a sudden you hit some unexpected traffic. Great, you think, it'll probably take me twice as long as usual to make it home. Then I've still got to dice the bell peppers and cook the chicken before I can eat. Your mind starts to wander and your thoughts drift to that tasty burger joint just a few streets away from your house. Thoughts of their juicy cheeseburgers, perfect crispy fries, and refreshing soda spark an overwhelming craving that gets your mouth watering. You know you should stick to your plan and cook dinner at home, but you start to justify it to yourself. I'm hungry now, and with this delay it'll be quite late before I finish cooking. I've been pretty good this week, it can't hurt to reward myself. Besides, I can just save the ingredients for tomorrow's dinner. Half an hour later you arrive at the burger place and indulge your cravings with a delicious, but unhealthy meal. Overindulging in cravings can lead to overeating and obesity, a state shown to be linked with various chronic diseases and even early death. What causes cravings? The root cause of cravings can be traced to a few key factors: external cues, conditioning, and addiction. When these factors combine, cravings can become harder and harder to resist. A recent presentation at the annual meeting of the American College of Nutrition, ACN, revealed how externally conditioned cravings for processed foods may be the primary reason that people overeat. A study published on Pavlovian conditioning conducted experiments showing that a food reward is remembered, hard to forget, and persistent even when the subject is food satiated. This can mean that when we repeatedly give in to cravings of unhealthy foods, the unhealthy responses become reinforced and exponentially stronger. Just one more won't hurt. Addiction. It has been proposed that there are 4 neurocircuits that form a network involved with addiction: reward, motivation, drive, memory, and control. Normally, these 4 components work in harmony to make the best decision possible based on all the information available. However, in an addicted brain, the memory and desire for a reward overwhelms the portion of the brain that controls impulse. This results in a pattern of behavior where a person is driven to seek out the reward, whether it is food or drugs, regardless of negative consequences. Published research has demonstrated that decision-making impairments in obese people and drug addicts are caused by activating the same parts of the brain. A study showed that the prefrontal cortex, a part of the brain associated with decision-making and controlling inhibitions, in food and drug addicts is overpowered by the need for immediate rewards despite knowing that there are more favorable but delayed responses. Cravings resulted in an inability to effectively evaluate the long-term risk versus short-term reward of a behavior. The biochemistry of cravings. Believe it or not, your cravings can be a result of biochemical signals in your body and your brain, which may or may not be completely in your direct control. Your brain produces GO transmitters like dopamine and glutamate that may cause you to succumb to cravings. On the other hand, stop transmitters like GABA enable you to exercise control. The stop systems are located in the frontal areas of the brain that are the last to develop in adolescence, and also lost or reduced in addicts. The psychology behind cravings and processed foods. The theory that actions can be greatly influenced by environmental stimuli through neuroconditioning was first hypothesized by Ivan Pavlov in the early 1920s. Modern-day researchers have now expanded on this foundation and use it to apply to eating behaviors. Some key conclusions are that when we condition ourselves to an unhealthy response through repetition, combined with external cues, the result is, processed food addiction may become worse than drug addiction. Increased cravings due to heightened release of peripheral peptides and hormones such as insulin, ghrelin, leptin, orexin, etc. Suppression of decision-making, memory, learning, and inhibition. Loss of control and overeating. Unprocessed foods do not cause overwhelming cravings. Multiple cues at once, e.g. the sight and smell of food, compound the effectiveness of the craving. making it stronger than having just one cue. Repetition of cues makes a stronger and longer-lasting impact. Prolonged exposure to the cue, e.g. having to walk through 4 rows of snacks instead of 1, makes it more likely that one will give in to the craving. How to retrain your brain. A study published in the journal Cerebral Cortex shows neurological support that cue exposure and response prevention reduce brain reward activation, a precursor for decreased cravings. The good news is that there is data indicating that focusing on the cost of eating and the benefits of not eating the food you are craving increases the strength of an inhibitory brain region and thus makes it easier for you to say no in the future. That means that by practicing not succumbing to your cravings, the strength of those cravings will decrease over time. However, this new pattern of behavior must be maintained and practiced, or old habits and conditioning will re-emerge. Where to start? Shop in places with an abundance of healthy options like farmers markets. In chain grocery stores, shop in the periphery, the outside edges, where the fresh produce is located. If your television can pre-record your favorite shows, then take advantage of it and fast forward through those tempting fast food ads. Do the same for your children, who are also susceptible. Carry healthy alternatives with you when you are on the go. Make your home a healthy oasis where you won't be tempted. You get enough temptations outside. Steer clear of vending machines. Take inventory of your triggers. Pay attention to the things that tend to lead you down the path toward processed food. Common triggers include television, grocery stores, restaurants, and highway billboards. For example, throw out or give away the unhealthy temptations lurking in your pantry, freezer, and refrigerator. This may feel painful at first with the thought of how much money you might be wasting, but believe us when we say that it is well worth it. Protecting your health is invaluable. In addition to looking and feeling better, staying healthy can save you potential health care costs in the long run. Plan ahead. Plan and prepare your meals and snacks ahead of time. Planning for the week is ideal, but if your schedule just won't allow for that, then at the very least you should be preparing for your day. Waiting until you are hungry to decide what to eat is like knowingly setting a trap for yourself, especially since you have just read about how cravings can suppress inhibitions and your ability to make rational decisions. It's also important to mentally prepare yourself for situations that used to be a trigger. Vacations, restaurants, disappointments, and difficult relationships. How to put cravings into remission. Avoid being in environments that tempt you to eat unhealthily. The power of protein. Make sure to have enough protein in your diet. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, recommends a daily consumption of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. Higher amounts, up to 50% higher, are recommended for those trying to lose weight or build lean muscle. That could be up to 90 grams for a 75 kilograms, 1.78 meters tall man or 75 grams for a 64 kilograms, 1.65 meters tall woman. Studies show that higher protein diets help suppress hunger, increase satiety, and burn fat, thereby promoting weight loss and making it easier to stay on a weight loss program. It's a good idea to get 20 to 25% of your daily kilojoules from a complete, high-quality protein that has all 22 amino acids involved in human nutrition. Try to get protein in every meal and snack to meet your personalized daily target. Nutrition to curb cravings. A micronutrient-rich diet that includes the full spectrum of essential vitamins and minerals can also help support optimal health, leaving little room for cravings. Making your food choices so as to maximize nutrients per kilojoule is key. It is important to recognize that low nutrient eating and toxic eating leads to increased cellular toxicity with undesirable levels of free radicals and advanced glycation end products. Findings report that these toxic substances lead to addictive withdrawal symptoms, toxic hunger, that result in the desire to eat more frequently and overeat. Low nutrient eating, therefore, establishes a mechanism that leads to food addictions and food cravings that can't be ignored. Addictive foods to avoid: refined sugar, sugar alcohols, artificial sugar substitutes, refined flours, foods high in saturated or trans fats, high salt foods, stimulants, alcohol, and fermented beverages. The USDA recommends 5 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. It's a sad fact that the majority of Americans do not meet these requirements. In 2013, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published a population study surveying dietary habits and found that adults only averaged 2.7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day.